This is going to be your September relationship forecast. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the connection between you and your person, what's in your headspace, your person's headspace, your heart space, their heart space, overall energy and underlying energy. And feel free to swap sides if it makes more sense. Okay, so the month of September is going to be quite interesting because of the fact that we now have Venus that is going direct after what feels like a long time in retrograde. And also we have Mercury in retrograde, which will finally go direct September 15th, I believe. So, there's a lot of shifts that are happening. So let's take a look with these Moonology cards just to see what are some overall messages between the two of you for the month of September. And we have here, your dreams need a practical plan. So this is some Taurus energy. Now, to me, whenever I see this card, I think of setting some intentions. What are the intentions for the two of you? Now, if this is not a relationship with another person, you can also look at this for the inner masculine and feminine energy within you, right? The relationship you have with yourself. Now, with this, we have the step out of your comfort zone. So there's a need to kind of do something a little bit different in this connection. And with that, we have be bold and make the first move. Now, here's the interesting thing about these cards. I would never suggest that you go chase anybody. Whenever I see the card that says be bold and make the first move, I automatically think of personal, spiritual evolution and growth. Okay? Because you always have to do for you. If you're happy and you're putting yourself first, then this will translate into a relationship. Okay? So always put yourself first, put yourself on that pedestal, because when you're putting somebody else on that pedestal, it means that they're at arm's length, they're out of reach. And that means you're going to be waiting. So we don't want to be chasing anybody, right? We want that equal giving and receiving and balance. It is super important. So let's take a look at what's going on in your headspace. Now, of course, you can swap sides, like I said, if it makes more sense. But let's see what's going on in your headspace. Well, there's the Empress. Okay, so this is Venus, self-worth, self-value, self-respect. This is birthing a whole new cycle. This is about being creative, doing what you're passionate about, and feeling good in your own skin. Now, also in your headspace, you have the Knight of Coins, and I cannot make this up because this is exactly trusting the process. I know that it might be slow right now, okay? This is not a quick moving knight whatsoever, but this is somebody who is in it for the long haul. The Knight of Coins is typically a combination of Taurus energy and Aries energy. That Taurus, which is slow, methodical, will follow something through to the very end, even if they're wrong, okay? But at the very end, there's a little kick of Aries, a little bit of fire that comes through and says, all right, I gotta do this. So let's take a look at what's going on in your person's headspace. We have the Devil card, and the Devil card is Capricorn energy. This is signifying that there's a need to let go. There could be some restrictions, addictions, or codependency going on. And the fact that this card actually is orange represents Venus, the sacral chakra. So again, self-worth, self-value, and self-respect. So, the two of you could be mirroring each other in very similar ways, maybe just with different things, okay, if that makes any sense. But let's take a look what else is going on here. See, another card that is orange. And the Nine of Coins is pre-Empress energy. It's almost like your person is 10 steps behind, okay? So Nine of Coins is feeling good in your own skin, doing something nice for yourself, self-worth, self-value, and self-respect. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on. Oops, the cards are jumping. What's going on in your heart space? We have the 10 of Coins. Okay, so you're looking for your tangible wish fulfillment. You want to have it all. You want to have your job in order. You want to have your finances in order, your relationship. You're aspiring to have the best of the best of the best, and you should, right? And the Star is about healing. It's about blessings. It's about wishes coming true. It's even a card of falling in love. This is Aquarius energy. So you can see that you are focusing a lot on matters of the heart. I can see it just with these two green cards, which are the heart chakra. Obviously the blue is about communication and the throat chakra, and then feeling your personal power here with the yellow card. Now, in your person's heart space, we have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is a card that says you need to trust your intuition, also need to know how to receive, and it can be a card of overgiving. Why do I feel like your person is overgiving to many other people? That could be family, that could be work, friends, whatever it is. It's just not serving them. And we have the Seven of Wands here, which basically asks, are you on the offensive or are you on the defensive? So there could very well be some defensive energy here that's happening, and I need to let go. Let's take a look at the overall energy between the two of you. And the Five of Wands is conflict. It can be competition. It can also indicate gossip, okay? So blue, throat chakra, communication, and the Tower. So here's the thing. The Tower is not necessarily a bad thing. It is a hit to the personal power. However, it allows someone to rebuild. And I always want to remind people that we're not starting at zero. We're starting with knowledge that we didn't have before. This is the key. The question is, what do you do with that knowledge, right? Do you ignore it? You have it, but you ignore it, so to speak, or do you take the methodical steps towards new beginnings, new experiences? Now, the underlying energy here is the Eight of Coins. So there is a lot of work to do. Now, there could be some work interference, okay, in this connection. And Five of Swords is conflict, battle, having a headache. 5-5 is big changes ahead, and it also indicates Tower moments. So the energy is actually quite consistent here. Let's take a look with the Oracle cards to see what else we need to know. Now, the Empress card in your headspace, the Church, you might be thinking about commitment, okay? You might be thinking about your belief system. Do you believe? Do you trust? Ultimately, do you believe in yourself, right? And the Knight of Coins, trusting the process, is you're going to get the clarity you need. But you have to understand that things are larger than life. I always recommend that people look objectively versus subjectively. Sometimes we only think about how things are affecting us. We don't look at the bigger picture. And that's natural, right? Humans by nature, right? The human condition says that we're naturally selfish, yet isn't it ironic that we're overgivers? So there's quite the contradiction in the energy of our society. So in other words, sometimes we have to understand why people do what they do, even if we don't agree with it. I mean, that is actually my gift, my psychic gift, is that I'm always able to see the bigger picture. That's why I'm so calm. It's hard to get mad when I understand why people do what they do. Okay, it doesn't mean I don't ever get mad or angry at something, but you have to be able to look at why, with these two cards here, I'm very curious to see what happens with the Devil and the Nine of Coins. So the Devil here, the Rider, messenger, movement, full speed ahead. Your person really needs to make some moves, and they need to communicate effectively. And even if you look at the coloring of this card, you'll notice the orange, right? The yellow, that's your personal power. That's your Venus, your self-respect, your self-value. And that Nine of Coins here, the Moon, there's worry and there's anxiety about being one's authentic self. This is the need to trust intuition. So let's take a look in your heart space with that 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, the sun. Look at all this sun energy. And I said this in a video that I filmed. It was the weekly Tarot and Oracle forecast. I was talking about yellow, the cards, and of course I'm wearing yellow today. It's just so interesting. It's all about personal power, and here comes the sun. And the sun is the Yes card. It is the happiest card in the deck. It can also be a card of ego, okay, where sometimes we have to recognize that we have to let go of the ego, right? We need to surrender. We need to trust that process. Now, the Star card here says, okay, now is not the time where we're in the middle of healing. Maybe we're not fully healed yet, but we're working on it. We're a work in progress. And you know what? I'm going to take another card with that because I do want to clarify that. Yeah, the Archer says we're going to take aim. We're going to implement a strategy. And this takes us back to the overall sort of messages of this month, and that is set some intentions. Okay, nothing has to be set in stone. You don't have to plan everything. I think this is the difficulty for some. We want to try to control the outcome. We're always planning. We need to know every detail. But that's actually what gets us in trouble, because then we don't manifest the things that we really want, because again, we're trying to control the outcome and we're not trusting the process. So let's take a look here. Oops, excuse me. Let's take a look here at your person's heart space. That Queen of Cups. You know, this is about a commitment here. There's an uncommon bond between you and this person. You know, they're trying to manifest their deepest desires, but they need to reawaken some lost hope. You know, I think they have felt a little bit helpless in the past. And the Seven of Wands here, we talked about, are you on the offensive, are you on the defensive? Well, the bellows, there's a catalyst for change here. We got to get things going. We got to get a move on. This is what we've been saying here earlier. And number 33 is an angel number that you might be seeing or encountering, but 33 is about ascended masters. Okay. And it does say effort required. It's almost like your person needs to put in some more effort into moving themselves along. Now, obviously, we want them to feel good in their own skin, because if they feel good in their own skin, that they're more than likely to give to you. And that's the same that goes on your side. If you're feeling good about yourself, if you bring your best and they bring their best, you're much more on the same level, right? But it kind of feels right now for September that you may be, a little bit ahead of your person. But at the same time, recognize that you're both in the process of healing. So the overall energy between the two of you is the bridge. You need to overcome some barriers. You need to better communicate, and we need some harmony. With that, we have the Celtic knot, which is unconditional love, legendary, divine union, love of a lifetime. Nothing that's meant for you is ever going to pass you by. I just want to remind you of that, You can love somebody so much, but you got to remember that you can't pull them up the cake. If you know the cake analogy, this is the thing. If they're working on themselves or they're in their healing phase, let them do that. It's to your benefit. Do you want short-term pain, long-term gain, or short-term gain, long-term pain? Now, the underlying energy here is the white wolf, and this is saying, believe in your power. You are resilient. Trust your inner knowing. And with that, we have here the Hierophant. This is about taking the methodical steps, spiritual ascension. This is commitment. This is really interesting energy. Now, what I want to do right now is take the After Tarot deck and just take a look at what we can sort of expect, because the tarot is the current energies. Now, let's take a look with the After Tarot. Now, sometimes people are unsure what I mean when I say After Tarot. This deck has the images, okay, of the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, however, with after energies, okay, like a progression. So let's take a look at what we can expect by the end of the month in your headspace. Okay, look at this. We have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is a card of nostalgia or even past life connections, but it can also indicate a wish coming true of some sort. So I really like that energy. And with that, we have the World. The World is completion of a cycle. So this is saying we're going to go to another level or another round. But remember, that's a positive thing. We need to go to another round or another level in order to continue our growth and our learning and evolution. Now, in your person's headspace, interesting, there's that Seven of Wands. Remember we had the Seven of Wands earlier where we said, are you on the offensive or are you on the defensive? This looks like somebody's taking care of business here. Okay, so I kind of like that. That means they're fighting for what they need or what they want. And that's very attractive. Okay, we like to see people who are motivated or ambitious to get things done. And with that, we have the Queen of Swords. Exactly. This is about somebody making the boundaries, saying no, cutting things out that no longer serve them. That's very positive for the end of the month. And in your heart space, we have, okay, interesting. The Seven of Cups traditionally, okay, in the regular tarot says, I have 7 cups, I need to make a decision. And sometimes we don't want to make that decision because we're afraid. We're afraid we're going to be wrong. We're going to be judged. We're going to, I don't know, make a mistake, whatever. And I always talk about being a Roomba. What does a Roomba vacuum do? It spins around, hits the wall, and redirects itself. Choose a cup. You also have decisions to make. So this is a card that's indicating you making a decision. Now, it could also have, a connection to dreams, if you're having very vivid dreams. But to me, this is like saying, I'm going to make a decision. And let's see what else we need to know. Because we did talk about implementing a strategy. And Temperance, Temperance is a card of patience. Patience, forgiveness, reconciliation. And it also indicates that something is brewing. And maybe you're going to sort of see at the end of the month what that is that's been brewing. Now, let's take a look in your person's heart space, what to expect by the end of the month. And look, we have the Wheel of Fortune. What a major glow up or shift for your person, okay, by the end of the month. The Wheel of Fortune is growth, it's expansion, it's good luck. And the Chariot is all about moving forward, which I think is absolutely wonderful. So that little bit of fire lit up under their rear with the Bellows card is super positive. So let's look at the overall energy. Look, celebration. Celebration. I think this is absolutely wonderful. And Eight of Wands is shooting your shot. It's about manifestation. And I think we're going to be celebrating something that we've been manifesting. Underlying energy here is the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles is all about work. And we talked about there's work to do, but this is about getting the rewards of doing that work. You know, we're lifelong learners. And the Empress, wow, we had the Empress at the very beginning. We're really going full circle here. The Empress is about birthing a whole new cycle. And this is really lovely. We are gaining the rewards here. Okay, let me just take a couple Power of Surrender cards here just to see what we need to surrender or surrender to in September. And I'm going to take a card for your side, and I'm going to take a card for your person's side. So let's see what you need to surrender or surrender to. And we have Surrender Your Fear of Change. This card came out in the weekly Tarot and Oracle forecast. You might want to go and watch that for some extra messages. But the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. Okay, and now let's see in your person's side. Okay. Surrender your ego. Now, didn't I say ego earlier? Cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. Wow, it's about releasing the ego, okay? And pushing forward and getting things done. I really hope that this resonates with you. If you would like your own relationship reading, the link is in my bio. You may visit my website. And if you have any comments about this video, please let me know. I really appreciate your kindness and support, and I wish you the most amazing month of September in your connection. Thank you very much.